Well, hello everyone. Here I am in California. This is Joni Villamil. I'm your host for Magandang Balita with Ate Joni. That means good news with Ate Joni. Ate is word of respect for an elder sister in Filipino. So here I am saying hello to my friends and relatives in Surigao, Marazona, Buntag, ditong sa Izo, and to those relatives of mine and friends in Dumaguete, maayong buntag kaninyong tanan, and to all my Tagalog friends everywhere in the world. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, and to all of us that speak English, a very pleasant evening to all of you. My dear brothers and sisters, tonight our guest is a very good friend of mine, and she's almost like a sister to me. To those who know me, I never had a sister, but she acts like one of my sisters. I'm so thankful the Lord sent her my way, because there are times when I'm going through something and she could read me right, and then she would call me out and ask me, okay, now what is wrong and what's going on with you? If there's anything that she and I shared much of, it would be those special moments together when I would just pour my heart out and let her know what's going on. And then she and I would pray together that it'll get resolved somehow. Anyway, she will also share with us a song that she has sung at Parkcrest Christian Church. And she and I were in the praise and worship team for a time over there. And I wouldn't have been in that group if it weren't for her. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Miss Charmie Sahilan. Hello, Sister Charmie. I'm so glad that you're here with us tonight. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
I'm good, thank you. Aging, sometimes it makes it difficult, but I still want to think I'm aging gracefully.
Oh, we all are aging gracefully. It's just a number.
Right?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm just recalling how I met you. I think we met at my brother's gig in Hollywood.
Yes, we did.
That was a New Year's Eve function, I think. And
Yes.
I met you there for the first time.
Yes, your brother Leo was playing that night. It was the very first time we met. And I will never forget that night because I remember you wearing that really pretty dress that you actually made yourself. Sabi ko, oh, galing na, she's so artistic and all that.
I'm so homey.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. That was actually a project because a good friend of ours, Mary Ann Samadi, she had a brand new sewing machine. She was trying to figure out how to use it. And so I said, well, I make my own clothes. And then she said, really? And then I said, yes. So she says, okay, let's go to the fabric store and let's buy some fabric and maybe you can make a dress for me or for you and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So we did. And then that was the first project from her sewing machine.
Yeah. So economical that way. And of course, it's something that you really like, diba?
Yeah.
The style and all that. Yeah. And I know that your daughter actually kind of got that gift from you too.
Yeah, praise God. I think she graduated last month, but she didn't.
Yay!
She didn't want to tell us, and she didn't even want to go march down. I said, "Oh, you're the weirdest one," but I'm glad you finished it. She's working in a downtown LA.
Good for you, Mia.
Yeah, so proud of her. I mean, I didn't think she would do that, but she did. I mean, she was in music and she wanted to go dentistry, but then finally she followed her passion. So anyway, we've been into a lot of events together. And in fact, that's how I joined Parkcrest Christian Church, because of all those events that we were in together. And then finally, the Lord led me to Parkcrest Christian Church.
Yes.
And if I recall, one of it was our fundraiser for Angel City Cafe in Bellflower. We did that fundraiser with Alvin Reyes, Ned De Leon,
Shell Perlas,
and my brother Leo.
And most especially our
children.
Kids. we've been very blessed that they joined us for that night, and yeah, that was really special.
Sana
Mhm.
maulit muli. And also we did,
And
oh my gosh, the band together, Maricar,
yeah,
and the
yes, you
47.
joined the 4700 band in the very beginning, and then we also did event for Much Cariño and in the Filipino community.
Yes,
What
that's in
else?
cars.
That gig at Hiwa, with Winston Raval, Peggy was there, Audrey was
Yes,
there.
yes.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
And then I guessed it when you were hosting Kababayan LA on Channel 18.
Yes, you did. Yes,
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 thank
you
you for
did.
having me there. And
Oh,
Ter de
it
Leon
was my
and
pleasure.
Shell
Yeah.
Perlas. Yes.
Yes, yes. It
Yeah.
was so much fun. It was so
Yes.
much.
And
Yes.
thank you now for being here. And it's
Hmm.
my turn to host you.
Yeah, not only that, you also were able to join us, for Contempo Jazz with
Oh, yeah.
Danny
Good time.
Silva, and also Rick Icard. We did that
Oh,
gig
yeah.
at Pico Rivera, right? We did a lot of stuff together,
Yes, yes.
throughout the years. So,
And even Sister Mabel was
so
in it. And actually, I interviewed Sister Mabel here also in this program
yes,
already.
yes, I watched that.
Oh, yeah, thank you. She did a really wonderful testimony about, God's goodness in her life and how the Lord provided for her, even when she can't practice being an RN. And
Yeah.
times like those in our lives are really when we need to hang on to God and when we need
Yes.
to really actually just sit back and watch what he does
Hmm.
because
That's
he does
true. That's true.
things amazing. Yeah.
Mm.
Was there ever a time in your life, and I'm sure probably there have been times in your life that you were dependent on God and, He reached in to grab your hand and told you, no, you're not, it's not time for you to drown. It's not time for you to, um, you know, waste your life away and you're going to be
Many times.
right. And so tell us one of those times. Maybe we can share hope to people who are in that situation right now.
Well, before I met the Lord, I was 16 when I started living on my own.
Wow.
Um, yeah, 16 years old, and that was right after college. No, I took up 1 year in college, and then because I was taking up music at the time, I thought, after I'm taking up music because I wanted to be a singer, and then I found out that I'm going to be a teacher, which was like, that's not what I want to do. But which is so funny because I ended up in the teaching profession. Still, I am now in for 20 years. I've been an instructional assistant for special ed, and it has been a blessing, working with these kids.
I'm sure.
Truly a reward. It's very rewarding, very hard, but very rewarding at the same time. So going back to that, I just did 1 year because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sing,
Mhm,
and I joined the band.
mhm.
I kind of got exposed to the lifestyle at that time, which was, the parties, the
Mhm.
drugs, the drinking, and all that. Things that I'm not very proud of.
Mhm.
But God used that time. Again, I think it was for 5 years. It was like that. I must admit it was fun, but I knew there was something missing.
Mhm. Of course.
Something missing. There was just it. Uh, I was just never fulfilled,
Mhm.
and so I think it was by 1990 we were given that opportunity to perform overseas. So I went to Dubai with my band, and it was there that God actually started working in my life. And there was this lady that I met. Her name is Emma, and she kept on inviting me to church. And at the time I was like, yeah, sige, sige, I will. But I just wasn't really interested. And
Life
uh,
was good,
and
huh?
then just one, yeah, yeah, it was. But no, it was good, but no, not really. But
Yeah.
I think just to get her off my back, I said, oh, sige, I'll go that one time.
Yeah.
Thinking that, okay, pagbigyan ko na, and then, so, I'll just go.
Yeah.
But God had other plans. It was there when it wasn't even the message from the pastor, or it was the music. God used the music to
Mhm.
speak to me, to speak to my heart. I don't know. I can't explain it, but I just remember weeping. I
Oh,
just kept on weeping. He spoke to me through those songs, and I don't even remember what those songs are anymore. But that was the start. That was the start. So when I got home from church that day, I um, I had a Bible that my sister gave me that I never opened,
mm-hmm.
and I don't know. It was at that time that he gave me that hunger to know him,
Mm-hmm.
because I think at that point, parang I was starting to realize that, oh God, you are real. You are real in my life. Kasi dumating ako sa point na I felt that I did so many things in my life that God's not gonna love me because I did this and I did that. I'm not worthy. I I just felt that way. I don't think I'm lovable.
Yeah.
But again, when he spoke to my heart, that's when I started, reading the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I didn't know where to start. I just started from the beginning, which was the book of Genesis.
Genesis.
Yeah. But you know what, it was such a blessed time. I just started reading. Kahit minsan hindi ko naiintindihan, I just went on and just kept on reading. And there was a hunger. There really was a hunger to know him. And then, yung parang magugulat ka na lang, para bang, oh, really, this happened? This, God, ganun ka pa talaga? Or, and the thing about the Bible is it doesn't sugarcoat, the people that lived long ago. These people in the Bible, they're not fiction. They're real people.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're like, for example, they're talking about David. They're not talking about David just as a good person. No, they're talking about him also as an adulterer, as a murderer, and all that. But in spite of that, God still loved him.
Yeah.
God still reached out to him. So parang it was those examples that I kind of learned, as I went along and just kept on wanting to know him, that I knew for myself that, Lord, mahal mo pala talaga ako. That it's not hopeless, that you are real, and that when I realized, the things that I've done, and I repented, and that he offered that free gift of forgiveness and the salvation, I was just really just blown away. And I'm just so grateful. I am eternally grateful for what God has done and continues to do in my life. I'm in awe. Hanggang
And
ngayon. Hanggang ngayon.
of
Yeah,
course.
because he continues to work in my life, in our lives, in my family, my loved ones, family, friends. And I see the examples. I see how he continues to work in
Mhm.
spite of all the mess, especially right now. And we had the pandemic, the past 2 years. There's just so many bad things that happened, lost some people along the way. But you know what, there's still that blessed hope that he is there, at hindi na tayo pababayaan, and that he loves each and every one of us, and that if we are just open to know him, to really see that he is real and that he loves each and every one of us.
Mhm.
I think that's something that I will always remember. And
Yeah.
and so I'm just so grateful for
Yeah.
all that he has done for me.
Yeah, I can totally relate. I just want to say that uh reading the Bible actually opens up so many truths that I, for one, did not know until I started reading
Mm,
it. And I didn't know
yeah.
his promises, and I didn't know that how these are actually true and not just there just as a book. What amazed me also is that Bible is the most produced book in the
It
whole
is. It's
world.
the bestseller of all time.
It is. And
Yeah,
so I'm like,
it
how
is.
can you refute that? It's a fact. And if that's a fact, if that's true, then it makes you wonder, well, what's in it? Could it be true? And to believe in something else otherwise, and there's no book like this written about it. I mean,
Yeah.
I was just saying to myself, well, I shouldn't wonder because those things that I'm thinking about are not here.
There's an acronym for the Bible, right? It's basic instructions before leaving Earth. So this is like, they always say, oh, there's no manual for us, for us humans. Actually, there is, if we just really seek.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't wanna. I don't know. The Bible sometimes, if you don't really seek God,
Yeah.
I must admit, it is hard to understand for people that
Confused.
are just,
Yes.
just, yes. I've been there. I know.
Yeah.
But
Same.
when we come to it with an open heart, a quick prayer, para Lord, I I'm going through this, and I just God, just speak to me, and and not sometimes, but most of the time he will speak to us through his word. And
You will find what you're seeking for.
yes, 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 yeah.
And when you knock, it shall be opened.
It will be,
Yes.
yeah.
So yes, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, at least
Pleasure.
you shared enough of yourself that we know we kind of had a picture of what it is that you were going through. And I hope that whoever is going through the same thing and worse will get that uh, surge of hope from you, and will also pick up their own
God.
Bibles.
Yes.
And then
Yes,
up
yes,
to God
yeah.
after, because
Yeah.
I tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy going through this life on earth.
It
But
is. It's not, especially now, because we know the Lord is coming back again soon. So we just want to be ready. We want to live our lives to the best of our ability. Again, I keep on telling the family, we live one day at a time, but we have to live it with hope, with hope, with joy, even though it's what's going on around us is dark, and but again, but with God at our side, we know everything's going to be all right, because again, he knows everything. He is omnipotent, which means he's all powerful. He's omniscient. He knows everything. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere. So as long as we just continue to seek him, to ask for him, he's always there for us. So I pray that whoever is listening, would know that for themselves, because again, God does not want anyone to perish, but to have everlasting life in him. So I pray that everyone would have that hope, that blessed hope that he alone can give.
and it won't happen unless we start opening our Bibles. So
yes, and our hearts and our souls, our minds to him, because you know what, God naman, he knows our heart. Wala naman tayong natatago sa kanya. He knows if we truly seek him, he will meet us where we're at.
Amen.
That's for sure. Yes. Yeah.
And guess what? A video of us singing at Parkcrest. I was hoping it was just a solo of you, and I didn't know I was
it's two
there.
of us. Yeah, that was a special. I love that song. I think that song. I pray that because he truly is the name above all names. He has a wonderful name. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
And Jesus loves each and every one of us. I pray that everyone would know that for themselves.
Yes.
Be blessed.
I know. So that song. Okay, so we're gonna show that video, and then we'll come back right after.
Great.
Thank you.
You are the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you, O Christ. What beautiful name it is! They'll fall before you. Silence the boast of sin and grave. Heavens are roaring, praise of your glory. For you are raised to life again. You have no yours is the kingdom, yours is the glory, yours is the name of Jesus Christ. Don't forget we're taking an offering on our way out. Go in peace.
Oh my gosh. I happened to be in it and I'm like, wait a minute, that's supposed to be a solo of hers. But anyway, I'm glad that I was your backup singer. And the challenging part for me in that song was finding the harmony.
I love the harmonies. Yeah, I love it that that you and Scott. Yeah, that it was just really, it melded beautifully. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
That was a wonderful song. And thank you so much for joining us tonight and for revealing some of your secrets, and that it was all for God's glory. And
It is by the glory of God.
I mean, of course,
Yeah.
you didn't start for it to be to happen that way, but then towards the end, the Lord used it for His glory.
He surely did. Whatever I went through during that time, he worked all things together for good.
Amen.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes,
Romans
yes.
8:28, right? So anyway, thank you
It
so
is, yes.
much, and God bless you, and God bless you in your endeavors. Say hi to Teddy
Thank you.
and the kid.
Thank you.
And
I will let them know. Thank
yes,
you.
and
And thank you so much for having me.
thank you. It's my pleasure,
Mhm.
actually. And one day I will join
Yes.
your camping trip.
Oh, definitely. You know what? If that is something that we've discovered this past few years, is that the love of nature. You meet God when you're out there, because you will just be in awe with everything that He has
It
created.
is.
So
And the places you've been
yeah.
to, oh my gosh, I'm in awe. I mean, those are really lovely places. But anyway,
Yosemite is our happy place.
yes. So it's mine too, because my memory is I went there with my parents, and now Mama is gone.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that's
Oh,
all.
always with you. Always with you.
Yeah. Now she will always be with me anywhere I go. Okay, sis. Thank you. And
Thank you. Thank you
yes.
so much. Yes. And I will see you again.
Yes.
Good night.
Good
God
night.
bless you guys.